So the game last night, which was, if you want to call that a game, it was a disaster. It was raining outside. It was disgusting. Thursday night football, as it is pretty bad. But America, we love football, so we watch anyway. We put ourselves through that, and we suffered last night. Unless you had parlay on that game, I don't know how you watched it. The score was 3-0 for the longest. It reminded me of the Alex Smith 49er days, back when I used to call in the San Francisco field goalers, because that's all they could do was just kick field goals. And, they lose the game, and halfway through the broadcast, De'Vondre Cambell, who's been backing up Greenlaw all year — Greenlaw is the star linebacker who got hurt in the Super Bowl — he's backing him up. He's been, you were his backup for a reason. The guy suited up, came to the game as if everything was normal, knew he wasn't going to play. He knew he was going to play, but he knew he was going to be coming off the bench. And a couple of guys go down, and they ask him to come in and do his role, and he refuses to go in the game. And it's like, hold up, we've seen guys retire. It was a guy who retired during a game a couple years ago, Davis, when he played for the Bills. But this is on a whole. This was in prime time, right? This was everyone's watching this. Not a good look. Some of his teammates have called him out. Ward called him out. George Kittle called him out. Basically, Kyle Shanahan says he's not going to be back. There's been a lot of guys going through a lot of stuff. People say, well, maybe he's going through something. Okay, Trent Williams lost one of his kids, and he's been fighting through an ankle injury or something like that all year. A lot of guys have been dealing with stuff. The coach has his job on the line. Have you seen Kyle Shanahan? He looks skinnier every week. He's probably not eating. Everyone thinks he's a choke artist. They can't win the Super Bowl. They can't beat Pat Mahomes. It's been a rough season for the 49ers. And Stephen A. Smith and a lot of the talking heads were talking about what they thought about this. This is what Stephen A. had to say.
If it were me, he would have been cut before he left the locker room. He wouldn't have made it out of the locker room as the San Francisco 49er. And I'll be honest with you, his career is in grave jeopardy, and it should be. You don't want a teammate like that. De'Vondre Cambell should be ashamed of himself. There is no excuse for what he did. But I don't need much to understand that in the middle of a game that you dressed for, that you told the team you were available for, two of your teammates went down. The coaching staff comes to you to play. Your teammates are looking for you to play. And healthy and ready to go, you said, no, I don't want to play, and then got up and walked off the field into the locker room. You heard what George Kittle said. You heard what his other teammates said. I don't blame them one bit. That is as egregious as it gets as far as I'm concerned. Yes, we should not be defined by our worst moment. I get that part. But it's really, really hard to overcome you not even thinking about your teammates.
Maybe he's going through some things, mental health, and yeah, he might be. But if that was the case, why did you even suit up and play? Now, mind you, like in our everyday lives, we see people quit jobs and walk off all the time. Most of the time, they're making like $20 an hour or something like that, if that. This dude just signed a 1-year, $5 million contract with the 49ers in March. $5 million. Now, you do the math. It's 18 weeks in the NFL season. They get paid once a week, $5 million. You break it down. He's making six figures. I'm like, damn, it's real hard to just walk away. You really don't give a damn when you walking off the job and you making that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Now, his contract, NFL contracts are tricky. Sometimes a lot of that money isn't guaranteed. They can find ways and loopholes to just cut you and not owe you a dime. I'm pretty sure GM John Lynch and them would be looking in to do that. But this just shows you how everything for the Niners have been they were supposed to be one of the upper echelon teams in the NFC this year with the Lions and the Eagles, and it just has not worked out. They're 6-8. Oh, I think they're 6-8. They're below 500 for the first time in a long time. Deebo Samuel looks cooked. And I'm a Deebo fan, but when nowadays he's walking around here looking like the Tooth Fairy these days. He's dropping regular mid passes. Kittle's starting to show some age. Brock Purdy looks cooked. He just looks fried. I don't know what Brock Purdy, everything that everyone thought he was going to be, he's regressed. They just, Christian McCaffrey had the Madden curse. He was on the Madden cover. He missed like half of the season. It has not gone the way that they thought it was. And they thought they were just going to rev it back up, run it back, go back to the Super Bowl, get over the hump. I still think they'll always regret not bringing in Brady. Because if you bring in Brady, he gets you over that hump. They never did. They stuck with Garoppolo and then Purdy. And now they're they're third in their division. No, they're fourth. They're last place in the NFC West. They're behind Arizona, Seattle, respectfully, and the Rams now. So, yeah, it's not looking too good. I mean, the Niners they're going to have to blow that thing up. You know what I'm saying? Their window closed real quick. I don't think you knew this was going to be one of the last years. I didn't think it was going to happen this early, though. But, yeah, they're going to have to move some pieces around. But when you got guys just walking off the field, and usually this is what happens when you have a losing situation. When winning cures everything in sports. If the Niners were 10-5, I don't think this dude Campbell walks off the field. When you're winning, guys high, it's like right now in Philly. Right now, Philly is what? They got like the second best record in the league or whatever. They've won 9 straight games. But the quarterback and the best receiver can't stand each other. But it's not resulting in any problems on the field because they're winning games. You could thank Saquon Barkley for a lot of that in the defense. But the issues with Hurts and A.J. Brown haven't come back to haunt them yet because they're winning. You know what I mean? When you're winning, it kills a lot of stuff. I remember the Steelers a couple years ago won like 11 straight games, and Big Ben was washed up. It didn't come back to haunt them until the playoffs. But when you're winning, everybody's cool and calm, and everyone knows they roll. But when you're losing, all of a sudden, that's when people start showing their ass. And that's what they did. And Shanahan said he won't be a part of the team no more. But, they $5 million, man. And he just walked off and said, to hell with it. It's going to be a very interesting Netflix documentary if they do it. What happened to De'Vondre Cambell? Why did he walk off the field? But that's crazy when you just walking off, you quitting your job and you making $200-something thousand a week. Come on, bro. Like, how bad was it? It couldn't have been that bad. You signed, you know what I mean? You showed up and you dressed. You were there. You got taped up. You got all of that good stuff. It takes time to prep for a game. And just for what? Come on, man. But hearing that he has he made $50 million. He had a $50 million deal in Green Bay prior to being released from the Packers. This dude has made a good amount of change. Maybe he feels comfortable he could do that. But, man, I'm sitting here like, wow, you really got it good when you could walk off your job and say, F this, and you making that kind of bread. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. What y'all think about De'Vondre Campbell and this walking off the 49ers, the field goalers.